Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's read. For this selection, or this time around, I'm going to use the Thelema Tarot for the tarot part. There was more information. At the bottom here is there's a website. So I think it's Los Garibo. I'm not good with pronouncing things. I feel like it's quite obvious to people who watch a lot. But there's the spelling, because if you want to find it or get more information, go ahead, go on there and check out whatever you want to check out. I don't recall last time I was on that site, so it could be some cool stuff. Supportive Oracle Cards, Spellcasting Oracle Cards by Flavia, Barbara, and Lisbeth. There are their full names if you want to check them out individually. There are some websites on the back here. She Who Is Art is what stops or jumps out to me. And the dice are the same dice. They're metal dice. They're from Amazon. So if there's anything on that, they're from Amazon. I don't think there's a specific website on there, is there? Just Amazon, D&D. So if you want to find metal dice, I use the 20, the 4, and the 12. The 20 is for the major arcana, which obviously it's missing number 21, which would be the world, if my brain is working. And then for the minor arcana, the 12 I use from ace up to knight. So it's missing the king and queen, but still works. And the 4 I use for which element it is. And I go in the order of the zodiac. So the first, since Aries is the first, I use fire for 1, earth for 2, air for 3, and then water for 4, in case you're wondering. Okay. Thank you for checking out this part, and now on to your read. Hello, Virgo. Thank you for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you tune into them. With that being said, what do we have for Virgo? Starting off with a lot of fire. I don't know if that's good or not. A lot of fire. A lot of success around you. We have 2 more cards. Okay. There's a lot of fire. I'm getting this is going to be one of those things where I feel like we got to roll with it for a little while. But as we keep going, I think we're going to have to slow it back, and backtrack, and rebuild things. I don't feel like that doesn't feel ideal, but whatever this is, it's been coming. Something's been coming. Something's been on the way for a while. It's fire, though. I feel like something's been on the way for a while. And even though you've known it's been coming, it's different. It's kind of knowing you have to go on a trip and you're going to go to this one location. But it's almost kind of I know I'm going to have to do certain things, but I don't know what there's only so much I can research. There's only so much I can prepare for, but I know something is coming. It's one of those things. Because it's almost it's almost like having a kid, for example. People can prepare you as much as possible, but when you have your own, they have their own personality, and who knows, you could have situations that other people, you just didn't even know that was a situation. It's one of those things. And I feel like you've been putting in a lot of effort. It's not that you haven't wanted it. That, I think, is another piece of this. It's not that you haven't wanted this to come forward, but it's coming forward. And it's kind of I don't know, it's almost sometimes the star card comes in wish fulfillment. I don't usually read it that way. Sometimes it has hope, optimism. There's a lot of Aquarian flavor to the star card, a lot of intellect, a lot of getting what you want, but usually through personal effort. Usually. In my opinion. But this situation, it's it's not that you don't want it, it's just you've wanted it, maybe hoping it would come forward. Maybe you've talked yourself out of it, thinking maybe it wouldn't come forward. It's very up and down. You've wanted it, and now it's happening. And it comes in very strong when it does come in. Right? Here's your ticket, get on the boat. It's kind of here's your ticket and get on the boat. And you're like, but I haven't even packed. And you're like, well, if you want it, get on the boat. And it's kind of like, I do want it. And I feel stuck, and I'm like, I guess I have to get on the boat. This one is weird in the sense of there's a lot of success around you, and there's also a lot of stress with this success. A lot of stress with this success. The stress should pass over time. I keep getting this is something you actually want, but it is kind of like you've thought about it. And then when it does finally pop in, it just feels like it's happening so fast. It's very weird to me. It's kind of like, again, I keep getting like this pregnancy feel. It's kind of like getting pregnant but not expecting it right now, but like it's either now or never type feeling at the same time. It's kind of like if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it now because whatever's happened has happened. There's a lot of unknowing, like things just kind of progress naturally. So whatever comes next, it just naturally falls into place. And as it does, it's kind of like, I don't know what to do with it. So this is the next part where it gets a little bit more hairy, I guess you could say. What they're saying do not do is do not please other people with this situation. There seems to be this need, like I have obligations, I have the need to balance things out, I want to make other people happy, and there's like this Three of Cups. This is like what's not going to work to your favor. They're saying if you try to please other people and make other people happy, this is not going to work to your benefit. It seems very odd. That one, I have to get clarity, because what they're saying to do is very interesting. Two of Swords. Go for this. Deep down, I'm getting you really do want this. Whatever's coming in, you have wanted it. This does seem like it's out of balance a little bit, the way it's coming in. But they're saying, hold to what you want. Bond to what you want. This is gonna blow your mind that this is advice. I'm getting like, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself as much as you need to. Don't share the information until you want to share the information. This is it's very interesting because I keep feeling this card and I got the Two of Swords reversed and then the Lover's card with it. This is not other people's, this isn't for other people. This is for you. And the Two of Swords reversed is kind of like, this isn't about blocking what you want. Don't block what you want. Just take what you want. Make sure you move forward. For this time period with this situation, especially because I feel like you've been waiting for it for a long time, move forward the way you want it to be. If you don't want to tell people, don't tell people. If you need to tell other people, like, listen, I'm not talking about this with other people right now. Or if there's complications with this situation that you're just going to keep it to yourself for right now, then you're going to keep it to yourself for right now. I keep getting that this is something that you need to be in control of for this to really work out. And it may be keeping it more personal in the sense of like just you keeping it to yourself, making it very careful. Because I do see you having a great outcome, but if you try to work with other people, if you try to make other people happy, it does seem like it gets really messy and it doesn't really need to be. Because it seems like we get into this accommodation war. It gets really weird. It gets really messy. It may be out of character for you, but it feels like other people are trying to tell you what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And other people are trying to help you make decisions that you don't really want them to. Those typically aren't bad cards, but I'm getting like this makes this road a lot harder for you. Take it with a grain of salt because that's like, it's kind of blowing my mind that we're going that way. You need to keep control of this. I just feel like other people are going to try to make decisions for you that you don't even want their input. So then it becomes another level of like fighting them and saying, I understand you like that, but I don't want that. And then they keep pushing back. No, this is what's best for you, Virgo. You have to do this, Virgo. If you just keep this information to yourself, you have control over it. If you don't let people know who are a little bit more bossy or a little bit or bully their feelings a little bit too much, if they don't even know, you don't have to deal with them. So I think that's what we're going towards. Like there may be people in your life who get very insistent that they have an answer that you need to do. And in this situation, if you don't want to deal with that, they're like, don't even let them know. Let everything play out on its own. If you want to tell them after the fact, and then you might want to also add, if you tell them after the fact, why you didn't tell them what was going on, kind of like because they bully forward their opinion and you didn't want it. So before it even became a factor, you cut them out of the situation. That might create something later, but because I'm getting this situation is for you. When it boils down to it, you're going to be the one who has to make the executive decisions on this whole situation. You're going to be the one making the final decision. You're going to be the one saying this is going to happen, that's not going to happen. It's always going to come down to you making the final decision. So if you don't want input from other people and you don't want that stress coming at you, they're saying just don't even tell them, which is hard. I find this really painful only in the sense of like, I would also add, if this really goes this way, because I'm getting you need somebody to talk to. You should have somebody to talk to. And if you have a therapist that understands how you feel and you just want to vent out this stuff and talk through this with a therapist, that might be a good idea. Stuff like that. There's other possibilities for support. You don't have to go towards the people who will bully you. Find other options for support in this situation. Don't rely on the people who tend to bully you. Whatever the situation is, there's a lot of success around it. I keep getting the success. It's success, success, success. But there's also this primal fear of like things not working out the way they need to, and other people with that primal fear trying to make sure you succeed, but in a way that they're comfortable with, which is not okay. Yes, you should have success, and it's great to have options, but they need to empower you for you to decide and not try to direct you what you need to do. So this primal energy could become a problem in the environment. Even though there's success here, it's other people fearing what you're going through and getting that panic energy, kind of like, no, Virgo, you got to do this. Virgo, you got to do this. That way we make sure you get things work out the way we want them to for you. That's not helpful for you. I hope this is coming across right, because I don't feel like it's like don't tell anybody, period. It may be more like be more selective about who you tell, and like kind of like, well, maybe you don't want your mother-in-law to know, we're just going to say for argument's sake. So you're like, all right, how do I make sure that this doesn't get that far? So, and you're like, well, if I tell my mom, she'll probably tell her too, so maybe I can't tell my mom. But I have a sister-in-law over here who is not connected to that and will keep it private, so maybe I can talk to the sister-in-law about it. And she'll respect that, this is just something I'm talking to her about. Stuff like that. So you might have to be a little bit more selective maybe more than normal about who you talk with about certain things, based on the subject that you're dealing with. Because again, there's a lot of success coming in, but the stress about it, that the stress can make things really heavy, and you don't want to get to the end of this with your outcome and have a great outcome, but still be looking back going, yeah, but I didn't want it to play out this way, and what did that create for my outcome? Even though I have a great outcome, was it the outcome that I actually wanted? That type of thing. Alright, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.